guys, gals, friends, and pals. This is Paul Acevedo of Windows Central. Tonight, I'm joined on the mic by the unmistakable Adam and Tyler.
Hey.
And we're going to play some Quantum Break. We are going to look at Acts 2.1 and 2.2 of this super hot upcoming Xbox One game.
Awesome.
If that's okay with everybody.
Also coming to PC.
Yep, also coming to Windows 10.
Windows 10, that's what it's called.
So I think we're loading it up here.
When does it come out?
I might have Maze. Comes out April 5th. Seems like the date. Not too far off now, just a week.
Sounds right. A week from today, probably. As we jump into the spring rush of video games.
Yeah, a bunch of games coming soon. Like, what's that one? Dark Souls 3?
Dark Souls 3 is April. We've got Uncharted in May. We've got Doom in May. We've got Overwatch in May. We've got Battleborn in May. Mirror's Edge in May.
There's a new One Piece game coming out. I know we're all really excited for that.
Oh yeah, like when I mark off my RBI baseball calendar, then I just flip right up to my One Piece calendar.
It's an event, alright. Yeah, how are the loading times? You can see the loading times to actually start are a little long, but then after that I think it gets reasonable.
The Rockstar.
You know which game I hear has really bad loading times is Hitman.
I've heard that.
Can you believe I still haven't played that, even though I got it? That's the crappy thing about being busy. Act 2, perfect place to hide something.
Let's talk
oh,
about
it's wired, so it must be like a third
Here's
party
where we
one.
meant to start. Just like that Fallout 4 controller, right? That was wired third party too. So just in case you didn't catch last week's stream, where we ended, our hero here had been captured. And so he is waking up in captivity, I believe.
Liam Burke went to
and we're hearing an interview with him that takes place in the future of the game's events. You know, the whole game, I guess, is told as a series of flashbacks. I just love that kind of framing device. Not.
Is that a Borat joke?
Not really, but I mean, not that I hate it either, but I just don't. So far, I don't really see what it adds to the story. But then again, I haven't played any beyond this, so what do I know?
Yeah,
Some
what do
people
you
have
know?
already finished the game. But again, I'm not our actual reviewer, so I have to concentrate on other
You're
things.
not quite on a timetable yet.
Hey, Sergeant Torrente. Thank you very much for your prize donation for the night.
We know Beth Wilder.
If you're watching live, we are giving out a free pre-order for Quantum Break, donated by Sergeant Torrente.
No, because everybody who saw what
As
you
well as
did next
Xbox Live codes,
Yeah.
I believe. Or cash value codes, whatever you want to call them. Currency
Xbox
codes.
currency codes, that's right.
Microsoft points, moon points, what these
Moon points. So that was pretty neat. He took the guns out of these people's hands because he has them frozen in time right now. You know, our hero has time powers. So I already found a collectible over here. And also I was introduced to the upgrade system. Push the back button and go to Y and I can look at these upgrades. When I find certain things in the environment, they'll give me an upgrade point and I can use them. So the thing that I bought was Time Stop's durability increases, allowing more bullets to be stacked on it before it collapses. Yeah, it really is a pretty game, isn't it? I've heard more to... You know, when we uploaded our replay of last week's stream, there were some people who complained that we were uploading the replay in 720p. I just thought that was the dumbest complaint. I mean, besides the fact that most Twitch replays are uploaded in 720p because most people aren't also recording them on their computer at the same time. It is a little known fact that this particular game is running at a lower resolution than 1080p, and that's how they're able to pack it with so much detail and so many effects.
Only way forward.
So isn't that a little bit silly, Tyler?
It's just a little bit silly, I agree. They
Look at all that.
I mean, what were they saying You said that people are
Yeah,
complaining,
just
right?
a few
That it,
people on
like,
YouTube, just a
it-
couple. Just, YouTube, you can get some
Same.
pretty bad commenters there. Just like,
Yeah.
not as bad as IGN, I would say. I don't know.
Oh, I think YouTube's probably the worst for commenters. IGN's bad
I need
too.
to get through this area, so what I'm going to do is shoot this down and knock something.
Huh.
Exactly, like Maze says, and I believe Adam agrees with this as well, 480p is plenty.
480i is where it's at.
Is that still a thing? Like the eye thing is
Well, I
that
mean,
still a thing?
when he plays on an old system, it is really.
No, I mean like in new
Oh,
stuff. I don't. Okay.
If they still make regular Wii games.
I don't think anything.
That means interlacing or something,
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
progressive scan or interlaced. So anyway, what you asked what they were saying.
Interesting.
Just they're like, I can't believe Microsoft allowed you to upload this preview in 720p, blah blah blah. Just
Oh. But
I should have
huh.
told the guy, dude, you need to go outside every once in a while, catch some sun. So now to get across this gap here, I'm gonna have to wait. What is that over there? There's a glowing white thing over there. I guess I should go check that out real fast. It might be nothing, but I won't.
it might be
Yeah, how do I
everything.
know? Look at it, it's all glowy. Yeah, that's got to be something. Press and hold Y on it. Chronon source is found. Does that mean I have a new upgrade point? Yeah, upgrade points available 1. So, isn't it a good thing I went over there? And I will upgrade active pulse. Using time dodge and time rush will temporarily reveal enemy positions. You have to press and hold A to actually spend the point. I think that having to press and hold buttons just reminds me of the Kinect too much. You ever play any PlayStation games with that style of interface, Tyler?
With press and hold.
Yeah, to make
Or how
menu
do you mean?
selections. You want to do this, press and hold the button,
Oh.
and it spins a circle around.
Yeah, I was just playing one. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, it gets a little bit obnoxious after a while.
That's a fair point, Electrospectre. He says 900p is too blocky. It has to be at least 905p. That makes all the difference. Yeah, anyway, to get across this hole, I have to reverse time. I knocked this stuff down already, now I'm going to put it back the way it was. There it goes. Now I can run across real fast. It doesn't last forever. After a little while, this stuff will fall back down. And there it is.
Okay. Doesn't last. Noted. When the
So
fraction of
Adam,
time
tell us
some
about
objects became
your favorite Remedy Games
unstable,
game.
Yeah, weren't you a big fan of
mining abilities
Max
that
Payne
could
2?
manipulate their timelines, rewind them.
I actually do like the first two Max Paynes a lot. But the obviously Alan Wake is my favorite.
Nice.
I've never actually played the Max Payne games, any of them.
I played
Oh.
just a little of the first
Yeah.
one and
Do not-
didn't like it.
Do you not care for the third one, Adam?
Well, the first two are very like they have that cool Remedy, just that Remedy style. They're very noir.
What happened, what he
And the third one is just turns into like a gritty rockstar,
but part of me
movie
wanted to
game,
fucking bullet this
which is fine, I guess. But it's not the Max Payne that I like.
Gotcha.
Okay, but the noir stuff
Here, I thought you were
was
gonna
too
say.
hammy
Oh, go ahead.
in the first game.
The noir stuff.
Yeah,
was
in the
too
first
hammy.
game, like I don't know, I watched a cinematic and Penny Arcade had a nice little parody comic of it. But anyway, it was really, really hammy. It was just too much for me. I like real noir, but not affected noir, I should say. Time to go through the door and into an action scene.
No comment.
So tell us what you like so much about Alan Wake, Adam, my boy.
looks like some bitch.
What I like about Alan Wake, I mean, it draws a lot of influences from things that I like. So I like Twin Peaks. I like
Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone, that kind of stuff. So it it has a lot of that influence. I like the mechanics. I like the light mechanics and the shooting and stuff like that. I think that's
Dude,
fun.
shrugging off a lot of it.
And yeah, and then I think just the atmosphere, like it's a great. You don't see like the woods and the forest and stuff like that it usually doesn't feel like woods and forest in video games. You know, it often feels like, you know, roads with like some trees on the side. But even though that's kind of the way Alan Wake is, like it manages to still feel like kind of like deep woods, and it's just a great atmosphere that I really like.
I'm a madman with this pistol. I just shot some kind of explosive too.
You know what this game is reminding me a lot of? Another GTA clone with a twist.
GTA clone.
Yeah, that's one of your wonderful comments on your previous YouTube video of.
Yeah, where in the world did that come from? It's like, I've only played 5 games, and this one looks a little bit like one of them, so it's obviously a clone of it.
Exactly. This one has guns and you shoot people, and the one game I played ever like that was called GTA, so just quickly put 2 and 2 together and they're good to go.
Yeah, so sometimes we get great comments, but yeah, obviously silly people happen across our videos too. No channel is immune from that, to turn off comments. I would never turn off comments because I'm too interested
Welcome to the
in what the
internet.
good people have to say.
We wouldn't get to make fun of other people if we shut them off.
Yeah, how exciting would that be? I mean, how boring would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
Mario Party is a GTA clone.
Yeah, Mace makes a good point.
When you come right down to it, just about every game is quite a lot like GTA.
Oh yeah, like Super Mario Bros. 3, total GTA clone.
Regardless of which game was made first.
Of course.
Well,
What difficulty are you playing on? Asks
I am playing on beginner.
Snaxer. You're playing on
Yeah.
beginner? He's playing
Wait, no,
on
I
super
lied.
hard.
I'm sorry.
Elevator looks
For
like the only way
I
out.
I
think you're
usually
on
play
normal.
on easy, but I am on
Gotta be a
normal, you're right.
generator around here somewhere.
So what does that do? No power.
No power.
I'm gonna look for stuff.
Figures.
Get some bullets and what have you.
Mario Party died with Mario Party 9. I mean, I stopped playing it somewhere between 1 and 2,
Go back and get bullets? No, I can't even go back to the other room.
but I'm not much of a Mario
I
Party
think
pro.
5 is the last one that I played. Do I want a heavy...
I didn't really like 2.
I picked up a heavy pistol because I want more stopping power.
Ken Zivit asks if there are difficulty-based achievements. I think the trophy list or the achievement list is out. There's probably not a trophy list for this game, I'm
Seems
guessing.
unlikely.
I think the achievement list is out, at least on Exophase.
Yeah, it must be.
And
And there must be
go
one for
scroll
playing on the
through
hardest
there.
difficulty. They never don't have one for that.
Usually there's one like that.
There we go.
There we go. The hell
Yeah,
is
Mario
that?
Party 1 will break your hand in weird ways. Like, it'll take off the skin on the inside of your palm and stuff like that.
Hello?
Jack, this is Beth Wilder.
You have to hold the controller strangely.
You're the one my brother was looking for.
You have to spin the stick really fast sometimes. And, like, really the fastest way to spin the stick is, like, put it in the palm of your hand and just go like this. That's how I found anyway to spin.
You're at the outskirts
Yeah,
of a
middle
banana
stick.
cannon harvesting operation, and
I've
Paul
definitely,
Serene
like,
is in
ripped
the
up the
dry docks
center of my
nearby.
hand from
Now
doing
he's
that.
arrested
And I, like,
for
actually would put on gloves
How about
sometimes.
Whoa. Took all the
Is
precautions.
it the dry docks? Then that's
That's
right.
right.
No. Jack, the fracture is our
So
only
they're having this
priority.
conversation. I don't know what to
Time
do
is
other
ticking.
than listen to the
Will
conversation.
said he-
Will's dead. My best friend came back a goddamn monster. He knew this would happen. He prepared for it. Paul's the key to understanding all this.
I don't
And
know.
I'm gonna find
Go
You
bug
must
'em.
know that if you find Serene,
No, I mean, I wonder if
you're
I
not
should
gonna
even
asking
be interacting with
questions.
things or if it'll mess with the
Think
conversation.
this through.
Let's try. Exit the warehouse, it says. Does that still not do anything? Oh, there's something I can shoot down. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Adam, did you ever play a Mario Party?
No, but I played a lot of Sonic
Oh,
Shuffle.
I should have shot that down on the bad guys. That was a bad call on my part. That would have been way cooler to drop that on their heads. I never...
What the heck is
Sonic Shuffle was Sega's Mario Party clone on the Dreamcast. It wasn't very well reviewed, so I never got it.
I think it's a lot of fun. The only problem is if you don't have 4 people, the computer cheats. It's impressive the amount of cheating the computer does. So you kind of have to like you either have 4 people. Sometimes you can put it down to easy and it only sort of cheats, but that's the kind of sucky part. If you don't have 4 people, you have to play with computer. You can't just play 3 people. You got to have a CPU
That's a
player.
bummer. See, that's what I
Yeah.
like about modern games, how they can be updated. Say a game comes out and everybody says, hey, the AI is crappy in this game, it's too hard. Then they could, I mean, a lot of developers just ignore feedback and move on to the next thing, but some developers actually try to keep polishing the game and respond to the community. That's the kind of thing that I think would be kind of easily fixable. What is it telling me is over there? Oh,
I mean, you could update. Dreamcast updated things.
what game had an update besides Phantasy Star?
That one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
Hold on, wait a minute.
I've got some kind of a radar thing. It's pointing to something. Oh, there it is.
What was the sequel to Die Hard Arcade?
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
No, there's
Got another upgrade point.
nah.
Increased focus.
That one had an update. It also had DLC. Fire Pro Wrestling had downloadable moves.
Well, sure. Not that they didn't have any internet stuff, but I mean, it's common nowadays. I think a game would have had to have been built specifically in mind for receiving an update to actually receive an update. I think like on its own,
William had a
it wouldn't
workshop in that
just connect to the
industrial area
internet
for
when you start
years.
up or anything. Not the Dreamcast.
That could be
I'm sure there was an updated. There was a Dreamcast game that got an update.
But like I said, they would have had to have built the game with updating it in mind. But nowadays, on the newer systems, any game can be updated. Even on the 360 and PS3, probably. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm with you on this one. I mean, it definitely existed back then, but it's a great advancement. And I mean, there's actually been a lot of drawbacks to developers and publishers being able to update their games because many people think they'll rush games out because they know they can fix them later. But there's also positives to it.
Yeah. I mean, just think of... Aren't there, like, Wii games that were also on the 360 and PS3 and they can't fix them if there's something wrong?
Yeah, there was a Wii game that they had an issue with. I remember.
That was close.
I can't remember which one, and I don't remember if they ever did get actually an update out for it somehow or what. But
Jack Joyce.
You, from the protest.
From the protest. What do you...
Oh, it's Amy. This is the girl we saw got captured. She got captured in the,
They
I
made
don't
you
know,
do what?
epilogue type playable
What
sequence
is this?
of the first act, which we were able to stream last week.
the one where you can choose what
Yeah,
happens.
and the thing we chose, they made her do false confessions. That's what she's talking about now.
Whatever you did, it's not your fault. None of this is your fault. I'm just glad you're okay.
Eye drop bottle. A prescription that contains chronon, which is this time particle stuff. I still want to look outside real quick. I wonder if I can get back outside. No, it doesn't look like it. What if I missed a collectible? Yeah, Maze points out that there is a new Doom beta coming up. I'm looking forward to that as well. Hopefully I'll actually have time to participate in this one since I didn't last time. Tyler, I heard you don't like Doom.
I mean, I don't hate Doom.
What did Doom ever do to you?
Not too much. It was weird. I played it somewhat the first two. Well, the first one on my computer way back in the day.
No, no.
Mostly it just like made me walk against walls to look for doors, and like then I would put in cheat codes and like walk through walls and break the game and stuff.
Adam, didn't you say you never played Doom 3?
Yeah, I've not
You
played
really
Doom 3,
gotta
that's right.
Get that Xbox 360 version of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe I
you
will.
know, I picked it up on
Or
sale for
PS3.
$10 retail copy, and I believe that's not too uncommon for it to be available that cheap. So this thing is
I mean, I put it on my radar.
it's worth doing. I mean, combining Doom with a horror game wasn't a good idea. Probably a lot of
Security
fans
station is right
kind of
over
resent Doom 3, but it's still just a quality game.
Like, I think Doom always wanted to be a horror game. Like, I think it always wanted to be. I mean, but that was just the state of games back then. That's like how you made games. But if you look at like,
They can.
you know, just the art and everything in that game, like if you modernize that game, it becomes Doom 3. Like that might be the game they always wanted to make, you know.
I don't know. I mean, they play a lot
Yeah,
differently,
I'll check.
you know. They're shooting at both, and yeah, there's monsters,
Sure they do,
but I don't think it's all a matter of tone, you know. Like it has Doom 1 and 2 have that heavy metal imagery, but they're not actually all that dark. You know, they're kind of. It's kind of like Serious Sam or Painkiller is a better example, because Painkiller is trying to be more like classic Doom. But yeah, I just think it doesn't need to. They slowed the pace down a lot, and the fast pace is one of the things that people like
That can be
about
fixed.
Doom, right?
I'm not saying it was a good thing. I'm just saying, like, I bet you Doom 3 is closer to what they imagined in their heads they wanted Doom to be, you know. But you know, that's just they had the engine and they just kind of worked with what they had, you know.
That's true. I mean, you're right. They could only make the game a certain way with the technology that was available. The Xbox version of Doom 3 had 2-player local co-op, I believe.
Oh, that's nice. At least co-op's fun.
There we go. That should freeze it. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, I'm just getting back into the swing of things.
Online co-op's better than local co-op, but both is best and none is worse.
Yeah, the sad thing about that co-op mode, it was kind of a trimmed down version of the actual campaign with minus
Okay.
cinematics
Oh.
and stuff. But the
Something
sad
to look
thing
forward
is they didn't
Interesting.
include it in the re-release, the Xbox 360 version, not in there.
Oh, which version
The
did you
original
say had it?
Xbox.
to. You really wanna know how that plan
Oh, I
works.
did not know it was even on the original Xbox.
Why, yes. In fact, that was the only console to get it at that time. Wasn't it, Adam?
Right,
No
my
PS2
brother tried
version?
to explain. Time
I don't
is
believe there
everything,
was.
which
No,
is now fucked.
I don't think so.
Time, which
No
is
GameCube
fucked.
version?
It's like broken.
And I remember, no, I don't think so. And I remember there was a big to do about like lighting effects and things like that
Time
didn't
is
get
in
ported
there.
over.
big
Monarch
deal.
has something to do with it.
They might have
It was
patched
drug
that
house
though.
and
I think
all
they
You know
might
what I
have patched that.
genuinely didn't like about that game, though? I mean, obviously, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, but the lack of... You had a flashlight, and you had to use it separately from your guns. It was just a way to create false tension.
Yeah. that
I
should
think
work.
they
And
patched that though.
not in the regular one.
In the
Yeah,
360
but the 360 version
Yeah, in the
corrects the
360
problem.
version. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll
Like
fill
you had to
in with what
hold
I
the
know.
flashlight instead
Yeah,
of your
exactly.
gun.
And the idea was, well, do you want to see or do you want to be able to fight the bad
So
guys?
everyone
But
thinks that Monarch is run by
Good.
that
James
actually
Storm,
just makes the game a little too claustrophobic, a little
Everyone
too
here
tense for
answers
its
to a
own
guy named
good.
Paul Serene. And apparently he
Well,
founded
some
Monarch in
people like that
1999.
tense crap.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it was a stressful game to play
Paul Serene
because
is the exact
of that mechanic
Yeah.
and a few other things.
I mean, that's how I feel about a lot of those games. Like games like Dead Space and Resident Evil. Especially the newer Resident Evils aren't that bad. But games like Dead Space, I want to play them, but I don't really like that whole jumpy scare type thing. And so, like, I've played them, but they're, you know, I kind of have to force myself through them.
Dead
I like
Space was Dead Space at the time was I think it does a fantastic. It's one of the most tense games I'd played at the time.
It's tense.
It's very tense, yeah. Especially in the beginning. Like once you once you
Yeah,
come
I
to
mean,
learn
that's
the
kind of how
tricks,
like all games are.
yeah. But they do
yeah.
a great the sound design is fantastic. They
Need to get up to that open window.
they do a lot of false scares and things like that. It does a really good job of it. I think it was one of the better it's sci-fi, but it's still survival horror, and it's one of the better survival horror games. I think they came out this gen or last gen anyway.
Sure.
Whoa.
And then they, with Dead Space 2, they just decided to have every enemy attack you from behind. They thought
Oh
that-
no, two is still
Is
excellent.
that another one of those?
3 is where it sort of went off the rails a
I
little
haven't
bit
played
as far as
3.
like action.
I definitely didn't love 2 as much as I liked
Ah.
the first one.
That was a really cool time mechanic just now. All these panels fell down. I need to use them as a bridge, so I rewind time to get them back up, but I have to really hurry across before my time power runs out and they fall.
Oh yeah, puzzles, time mechanic.
But
puzzles.
I mean, it's not much of a puzzle.
We should
It's,
play Braid.
it's the kind of puzzle where it actually makes the game more fun instead of just frustrating you, like a more dedicated puzzle game would often do at times.
Now to get to that door.
Yeah, like puzzles that are gonna seriously trip you up probably don't belong in a game like this, because a whole lot of people don't like those type of puzzles.
Burrito speed, Brian says. Yeah, the time mechanics are great. To be honest, there's out of what I've played, because I can't evaluate the game, and I can only say what I think of what we've streamed. But out of what I've played, the only thing I don't like about it is the live action stuff. And it's not that I hate the live action stuff, but I think it's unnecessary.
Hello? Did you forget about me?
Braid is amazing. I like this Electro Spectre guy.
Electro Spectre, don't encourage him. Narrative objects found. What else have we got in here?
Arambula Duracerigio. Arambula Durang
Yeah, let's just call him
Sergio.
Sergio.
I used to know what that word meant. Arambula.
Is it a part of the brain? Female reproductive system?
If only Mega Man was here. He speaks like 44
you're right.
languages. and reminds you of that all the time.
Pretty much.
Good
Yeah,
work.
no, Maisie, I do
I need
like
to
Cutie
make
Pop,
this
but
right.
no, I enjoy many
I'm gonna
puzzle
use the
games.
terminal up here and try and dig up what
I
Mona's
can
really
get
up to.
frustrated with them. I don't like when you have to go to YouTube to look up a solution because you just can't figure it out. And that's part of some adventure games too, the more old school ones. Come on, girl.
Anybody, speaking of which, Day of the Tentacle came out.
Oh yeah, you know, we actually got that to stream.
Jack. They forced me to do it.
I know.
Oh, that's cool.
My friend played it and beat it right away. I guess it's a pretty
Wow.
short one.
He must have used a guide,
If you look
right?
up all the answers.
I think he said he played it all the time as a kid, so he knew what to do.
It includes the very first game as an extra, I hear.
Jack.
Yeah, he said that was awful. I just don't think he played it as much, so there's probably a lot less nostalgia, so there's a lot more
I may have to pass through
dated controls and stuff like that probably that we're
And just
getting on
game
his nerves.
structure. I think you can actually die in the first one, and being able to die doesn't go well with adventure games.
We have unfinished business.
Find your way to ground
Right.
zero.
You may want to stay here until I'm done.
Yeah.
But I did play the first one on the NES. I
I'll
rented
open
it.
the door for you.
It was neat. You know, there's that old
Stay in
thing that
contact.
you could
Find your
microwave a
radio. You're
hamster,
Channel 3.
and then Nintendo caught wind of that, and they censored all
Be careful.
subsequent copies that were
Yeah.
produced.
You too.
Oh man, high value copy. Gotta get that high value.
That
hamster
actually would
copy.
be more valuable.
Someone asked if you have to download the 75 gigabytes of videos. You don't have to download them. You can also stream them. Paul had a little bit of streaming hiccup issues on the first time.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the first
sure
one.
they will improve the servers. I'm sure they wouldn't just leave it like that.
Make him do the same.
Time blast. Press and hold right bumper to charge a time blast. But on the other hand, downloading the videos, if you have the room for it, is probably a better way to go. Ooh, achievement.
My powers. were
Everybody gather around.
They kept growing by leaps.
What's a DMCA?
Isn't that like, one of those things like you get a takedown notice? DMCA takedown.
Oh,
Copyright authority or something. You're right, Electro Spectre. That's just ridiculous. Streaming a game in 720p. I don't know why anyone would even watch a stream like that.
yeah. I just turn it off immediately.
There's plenty of merit to streaming
Okay?
Still kicking.
in 480i.
Monarch radio was lighting up. I heard a noise.
There's only a certain amount of merit to that. It's weird watching
Thanks for the
Adam
heads
play a
up.
full screen game though. Or like not a full screen game, I guess. A game that takes up the whole Twitch screen, I should
When
say.
did he do that?
Resident
Oh.
Evil 4.
Good point.
Well, because he's playing the Xbox version, I think.
Are you Adam?
Was
Well,
the
the
GameCube
GameCube-
version?
The GameCube version did have wide, like if you switched it to progressive scan, which is which is in the P's, you switch it to progressive scan, and then you would also get widescreen.
Okay.
But
I
back
did
then,
not know
nobody
that.
actually had TVs capable of that stuff, right? I mean, most people didn't.
Well, it would. I think it would probably letterbox it if you did that. Like if you went to widescreen and you didn't have a widescreen TV, it would just probably letterbox it. I'm guessing. I think.
So I'm missing some obvious pathway here. Oh, there's a door. There's the obvious path. By the way, earlier I didn't remark on it, but I saw a piece of graffiti that actually depicted something that had just happened. And the question is, well, who made this graffiti? And I guess that's a mystery I don't know if there's any payoff to it, but it is a mystery that is present throughout the game. Yeah, I played RBI on the NES, and there's another one. Maybe it was Bases Loaded. There are a couple of them that I played a decent amount, just borrowing it from friends or renting it.
King Griffey Jr. was a great game.
That was Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Super Nintendo. What's the SNK one?
Baseball Stars.
Baseball Stars.
Baseball Stars. Oh, game's so
Never
good,
played
man.
Got the
Baseball Stars
SNK
2.
question. Got the
Base-
SNK question points.
Yeah, Baseball Stars 2 is maybe the best baseball game ever made.
You mean the Neo Geo version?
Yeah, the Neo Geo
It's
version.
really pretty. It had such good sprite work.
Yeah. Huge sprites, awesome animation, like great sound effects. Yeah, super fun to play. That's a great
Nice
game.
seeing you, Mongbox. Thank you for joining us.
The
She's
Monster.
very busy. She's a teacher, so
Mongo
she needs
Rama.
to get to bed on time. Be at school in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you get PlayStation 4 in the show as well, Lowfire? I saw that Newegg had a deal on PlayStation 4
I think he
today
decided
that I think included MLB.
he just wants to wait for the 4.5, so
Yeah. People are saying it's not going to come out until VR, though.
but that's this fall, isn't
What
it?
a stupid thing.
Well, October, but I think people wanted it over the summer from E3.
It would be cool if it launched during E3 or immediately thereafter.
What do you guys think of a 1.5?
I don't like it. Me and Paul had a big conversation about it on Skype. Paul likes it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's a stupid idea. It's ridiculous. And if you're gonna do it, at least like Pearl Harbor your customers and don't tell them ahead of time, because who's gonna buy one now?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They didn't tell customers. It leaked.
Yeah, but it leaked. Well, whatever.
It's not.
Now they're screwed.
Yeah,
hope no one buys
Wolfire
one.
is a perfect example of that.
I mean, I think we talked
Yeah.
about it before a little bit, but the last generation, and obviously, I mean, Adam is exactly the opposite of the kind of customer who would want one of these. But the last generation went on too long, and it actually hurt a lot of publishers and stuff. Like, new hardware revitalizes the software market.
It's too early for new hardware, and it's also too early to have. You can't. People that buy consoles, the whole reason people don't buy PCs is because they don't want the hassle. And if now you have to worry about, is this game compatible with the PlayStation 4 that I have, that becomes an issue. That's a real
That's something they
stupid
can
thing.
work around. Like, my way of imagining it is a way where nobody gets left out because the games will run on either one, just like most, iPhone games. They'll run on the next generation of iPhone and the one it was released on, and maybe even the one that came before it. They can do that with console games.
What? Yeah. Well, the millions of dollars you got to spend on console games. Who's going to spend the extra money then to make sure that their game also has all the assets and everything for the 1.5 version? Like,
Well, that's the
very
thing.
few people.
But they
Very
designed
few
them-
games. Look how many games did use the new 3DS. Like
That's
6.
I mean, you're right. That is an example of how it could not go especially well. Although the new 3DS also is not hurting anybody. It's plays regular 3DS games. If you want to spend more to get it a little nicer when you do. If you don't, you don't. But
That's a start.
PC games, most 3D games are also designed for and released on PC, and they're running at higher resolutions and stuff. And this is kind of a way for console people, if this works out the way I imagine, it'd be a way for console people to get that more PC-like experience, because both of the consoles launched a little bit underpowered compared to PCs. When the 360 launched, it actually was decently powerful at that exact time. But the Bone and the PS4, they were already a little weak, and the Bone is even weaker than the PS4. So this, again, for people who want a little bit of higher graphics quality, they'll have that option. And I know you hate options, Adam. Sometimes we get in arguments about options. But options
Options
are a
suck.
good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When I go, as soon as I get a game, I go into all the options and I turn them off.
But even then, that's you're taking advantage of an option by turning the thing off instead of just playing it the default way.
Don't contradict me.
He turns off the audio. He turns the gamma all the way
That's
down.
it. Gamma all the way down.
It's just a black screen or
That's
a white
right.
screen, whatever.
Don't tell me to make this picture barely visible. I'm just going to turn it all the way down and then deal with it.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah, so there's ways that this
There's
kind of thing
too
could
many
go
options.
wrong, releasing an upgraded console early in the lifespan, but there's also ways that it could go very right, and I would like to think that Sony and Microsoft would be smart enough to do it in the most consumer-friendly manner. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not a consumer friendly idea, so we'll see if they can turn it into something that's at least moderately
Yeah, there you
consumer
go.
friendly. Like trade in your current PS4 and get the new one
At
for
the
$100.
least, you know, at least
Yeah, right.
GameStop will offer trade-in programs. They always do. You know, like you could trade in your fat 360 and get a Slim when the Slims came out. So I expect, I mean,
That'll
that kind of
never
thing. There will be trade-in programs. There always will, but it won't necessarily be widespread or places beyond GameStop.
Well, I mean, it won't be through Sony.
Yeah, you're right.
If,
Probably not.
You don't think it'll be through Sony? I think
GameStop
it
or-
might.
No, if
I mean,
GameStop wants to do something, they'll do it to get a bunch of used crap in their stores again. But like, they're not. Nobody's gonna. Sony won't do that.
You don't
I
think
can
so?
almost guarantee that.
If they don't do that, then yeah, I would be firmly against it. Like I'm already pretty much against it.
Like, how upset are you that you spent how much money you spent on a PS4?
Yeah, it's
Probably
it's
$400 or
not
$500
consumer-
bucks.
PS4 will
not
still work, and as long as
consumer
they still make games for it, then he's not losing out. There's already better
Hey,
versions of
Mr.
games on
Fury.
PC. You guys aren't
No,
losing out
they're
by
gonna-
not
there's
playing
gonna
them,
be-
are you?
Jack,
What happens if a PS4 game comes out and he's like, oh, I really want this. Oh, no, it only plays on the new PS4. And you know they're going to have to do that, right? Because you're going to have to have
Paul's
at least
saying
one or
in
two system
his
cells.
in his ideal vision.
Yeah,
that
it
wouldn't
is.
happen.
They could simply say you can't do that if they wanted.
Oh, well, they won't. That's not going to happen. They have to have a system seller. You have to have a reason for people to buy it. Like, there's got to be a reason. Just to say, oh, it's going to look a little better, no one's going to buy that.
Depends on how much better it looks.
I mean, a few people. But if you want to like sell the mass market, you got to say, oh,
that way.
here's this amazing game, and you can only get it on PlayStation 4.1.5 or whatever stupid name it's going to have. And then you know what? Then poor Tyler is going to be like, oh, I really want this game, but I can't have it because my PlayStation 4 doesn't play it.
We'll see, you guys. We'll see. You know, I always try to imagine the best for something. Like with the Kinect, I imagined good ways the Kinect could be used, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, Paul gave the Kinect a fairer shake than most people
You're
did.
right. And I mean, I stuck with it for.
Probably longer than it deserved.
I agree with that too. I stuck with it for a while. I played a lot of Kinect games and reviewed a lot of Kinect games, and it was kind of a dark time when I think back on it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, same with Windows Phone gaming.
The Dark Connect middle chapter.
Yeah. Where am I supposed to go now? Because there's so many guys around me. Probably gonna die here. So I don't like. Sometimes time freezes and I can't actually shoot the bad guys during that time. That's not fair. By the way, we have a hard stop at 9:30 tonight, so we've got another half hour, whether or not we get to the end of the chapter. But I did just make it to where. Cool, we're at Act 2 too, so
Yeah.
we're halfway there.
This is the final. Yeah, this is the final act you can play, right? We're looking for a ladder and
Yeah,
a cutscene.
exactly.
it's used to power a device called the CF.
Keep your eyes peeled, Adam.
See if
I think I saw
So I
a
just
ladder
want to say
just
it's really nice seeing you all on Tuesday like we did last week and this week. It's not going to be a regular thing, but I do want to do more midweek streams. And again, part of that is just dependent on my work schedule because I'm so busy. And then the other part of that is that the midweek streams have to be supported by our viewers. So sometimes we've done a midweek stream and we don't get the attendance that we'd like, and then that, you know, like when you don't have a whole lot of time, if you're going to devote some of it to streaming, then you want it to actually be worthwhile. So just, you know, hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing us midweek like this, and if we do one next week, if we do one tomorrow, probably we won't do one tomorrow, but if we did, then, you know, please come along if you can.
Not everyone works wearing their suit and tie in a 20-story building in downtown Canada like Adam
Yeah.
does. Some of us have to work odd hours and odd days and stuff like
Mr.
that.
Fancy Pants,
What are you been
Right.
talking
destroy
about?
Chronon containers by stacking bullets on them to create a temporary stutter. Oh, that's probably going to be too complicated for me to learn during a stream. But we'll find out, won't we?
Monarchs a resident Chronon scientist.
Looking for this Sophia Amaral lady.
She must know a lot of the same stuff Will did.
You know, with the way we do the stream where we kind of talk over some of the cinematics and stuff, which is very different from when Adam streams on his own. But I think one good thing about doing the stream like that is, as a viewer, even if you don't absorb the story stuff, you have the opportunity to, you know, when you actually get the game and play it, then you can better appreciate that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to give the whole game away, do we?
I mean, it's probably different. I mean, it's different for like newer releases versus older releases. I mean, probably. I don't. If I see someone streaming a game that I want to play myself, I definitely don't pay a whole lot of interest to the actual stream. I'll, you know, pay attention to the speaker and the chat and stuff like that. Like Adam was doing that with Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, and I want to play those on PS4 in the future, so I didn't like really pay attention to any of the boss battles or things like that, because it's kind of fun to encounter those things by yourself
It's true.
for the first time.
Are you gonna stream
I'm
those?
screwing up here.
I
Tap?
mean, I can,
Yeah, you totally should.
but it's not going to be like a smooth MLG no scope experience.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to. I mean, that's. I mean that that's a special thing, and it doesn't happen in too many streams. Just occasionally in some fantastic, great streams.
Well, the thing is, are you just gonna hassle me and yell at me for shutting off the tank control the whole time?
I'm sure.
Oh
only
my god! You know what? I would probably just have to get up.
He encourages me to stream it, and then he sees it. Well, like, I mean, maybe you won't be able to tell that I'm not playing with them.
Yeah,
on.
don't tell him.
I'll be able to immediately.
No,
you can
actually,
tell.
Adam probably will. He'll see it and he'll unfriend you at that
She must know a
point.
lot of the same stuff Will did.
Be like, blocked.
Yeah.
I will have to. Yeah, I may even report you to Twitch.
One of my friends was save scumming the Mega Man collection.
Not.
Yeah, I reported that.
Pulling a paw. I should have reported it. He's new to Twitch, so I wanted to
I
give
mean-
him a fair shake, but I gave a firm warning.
That's the way to play.
Did
but...
you click the? Did it say reason and it said pulling
Aw,
call? You clicked it.
that's cold. Real quick, Sergio asks, games are not available in MXN on his store. I don't actually know what MXN is. Is that short for Mexican pesos or something? Like, I just don't even know what it means. Ah, crap. You, stay put. These fat armored guys, dude, they're tough. If you shotgun blast, take care of them, though. Somebody else asked something. What was it?
I don't know the best answer for that, Sergio.
Yeah, you'll have to... Real quick, let me answer a few questions. No, there is no multiplayer, and no, there is no first-person view.
Is there? I mean,
Guys.
shouldn't the store's currency be in whatever region you signed up your PSP to be in?
Is he talking... Yeah, which system is he even talking about?
He's talking about a PSP.
Okay, I mean, that's... I feel for him that he's still into the PSP, but... Yeah, it's like asking us, I don't know, about getting online with Choo Choo Rocket or something. It's a little dated.
Ask me anything about Choo Choo Rocket.
Why did they never release Choo Choo Rocket on 360? I want a good answer.
Why didn't they release Choo Choo Rocket on
It's on
anything?
iOS, I
It's
think.
so good. Yeah, I wonder if the latency would that game is really quick. Like, I wonder if the latency would
Fine
be
on the
an
Dreamcast,
issue.
wasn't it?
Well, I actually don't think I've ever played.
I played it online on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
On Wii.
Did you? I
That
don't
was
think I
with
ever
a modem,
played it
but
online.
it was
I just
actually
played it.
online. It wasn't direct dial like Saturn games were.
Yeah, no, it was online. I played a lot of Phantasy Star Online with just a modem, and it was
There you
fine.
go. But also it's really
so-
good local. I played it a lot local with my girlfriend at the time.
Oh yeah, it's such a good game. Choo Choo Rocket's so good. Let's talk more about Choo Choo
Yeah, well,
Rocket.
that's the problem. Nobody knows what
That's
we're
what the
talking
little-
about. But
Those little bunny things that bounce around or something.
they were little mice, little cartoon mice, and you had to get them
Yeah,
into a
mice.
rocket
Yeah.
while avoiding. You didn't want them to get eaten by the cat, and the cat was real crazy looking.
So, like
You had to
lemmings.
get. Actually, what you had to do is
Get him to.
everyone's got their own rocket, and you can use the buttons to lay arrows on the ground, and when the mice just kind of stream out of their little home, And when they hit that arrow, they'll go in that direction. So you're all fighting to try to direct the mice into your
No clear exit
rocket.
down here.
But also when the cats
head upward.
come out, you want to try to direct the cats into your opponent's
So they'll
rocket as
eat
well.
their
It's
mice.
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going
it's
into
so
more
good.
detail there, but
Used to get
yes,
up there.
what I said was accurate as well.
Incorrect, but accurate.
You're so wrong. No, you want your mice to get into the rocket, and you want them to avoid the cats.
All right, maybe.
But yeah, that was made by Sega back when Sega still made a lot of really good games, and sadly they never brought it to the 360 and PS3, so it's pretty much forgotten at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played Choo Choo Rocket.
Well, I mean, it is on iOS, but it might be like a defunct version of iOS.
But I have iOS anyway.
So I get on this. Freeze it. Okay, now I get on it and I unwind it. And that should bring me back up high where I need to go. Let's see if it works. Not your average elevator, he says.
Not your
That was
average
the right thing to do.
elevator.
So yeah, the puzzles in this are just right. They're intuitive.
Jack, I
You
found
get to use your time
documents
power, it
about
looks
some kind
cool,
of
and you're just
private
happy with the
gala Monarch
results.
is hosting tonight.
Tonight.
Is
After
that
everything's
Recoil?
over.
Yeah.
It
Sergeant
hasn't
Trente
hinted at their future
talking
plans.
about Recoil.
This means delivering a
You're
speech and
Recoil.
the guest list
I don't know what that
has
means.
everybody from Monarch higher-ups to leadership
I am real
shots.
cool, you're right.
Welcome, Weigerg.
Which raises the question, why now?
Weigerg. Yeah, well, I was gonna say Weigreg, but it is Weigerg. Weigerg.
Why indeed?
I always like try and figure out the Washington IGG. I was trying to find out the genesis of people's Twitch names, but I don't think I'm going to be able to figure it out.
I always
on that
wonder when it's really unpronounceable, like how do they want you to say it? They must think of it in their head somehow, right? Just climb up here. Never mind, I figured it out. Vordonix.
one. Vordonix.
That's kind of how I say it, I think. Vordonix.
That's how you can say it, yeah.
But it is always a good idea to think of, well, how will people, because your name, people are going to read it. So how will they interpret that in their minds? Is it just a mess of characters, or can it be made into something pronounceable in their heads?
And for God's sake, spell it right.
You're exactly right, Zero. So right.
The Gurg.
Don't use too many L's.
Hey, Surreal Sonicus.
Yo, Surreal, good to see you, dude. Oh, Tyler, didn't we want to make a little announcement about contest prizes?
Oh yeah, about the what we were talking
Yeah,
about the other
do you
day.
feel like saying it? I bet you could do it.
Yeah, I can go over it. Did you add it to the
Yes, I
bottom
did
as
add
well?
it to the rules list. We added a new rule just to be sure everybody's
Okay.
clear on this one little thing.
Getting
Because
closer.
we've always thought about the prizes a certain way,
Now,
but we never
which
made
way's the
it
drag
explicit, so we decided to do that recently. So yeah, if you would explain that.
Yeah, so just kind of a rule. Hopefully most people have been treating the contest prizes like this anyway. But please only enter a contest if you actually want to win and play the game, or if like maybe you have a friend or family member you would share the game with. But please only enter the contest if you're planning to, you know, put the code to good
Okay.
use. We want to give away games to as many people as possible. We want to really make sure to give them
I got
away
that
to people who
briefcase you
actually
lifted from
want
Lillian Joyce's car.
that game. I mean, it doesn't have to be on the top of your list, but I mean, it has to be something that you want to at least check out and give a shot and play a little bit of time with. So that's just something to keep in mind when entering
Yeah,
contests.
please, because you got to remember a lot of the people here watching the stream, they actually specifically want that prize for themselves. So if you didn't want it and you won it, you're taking that away from somebody who deserved to win it a little more. Because the contests are for the people who are here. And if you give it to your brother or your dad or your girlfriend or something, that's fine. But still, that's what they are for. So please remember that, and we'll reiterate that on Saturday, and then we'll just hopefully not have to address it again. So where am I going now? Oh, the door open.
His surname is
Paul's men had taken the briefcase.
George
and
Soy.
Whoa.
dumped the contents on the table.
George Shaj.
A complicated spelling.
What kind of name is that? What kind of name is that? Soy
Is
sauce.
it, Danish.
Willard said he needed something.
Yeah, it has a lot of J's. Icelandic.
Wasn't much
Faster
there,
than
but
leet
his
speak.
phone and a key to the Bradbury swimming pool. Not the most obvious clues.
Nice, Kenzibit. Yeah, Kenzibit is a real achievement hunter, which means he dedicates some time to his games, and that's good. Yeah, no, and you know, we love all you guys, and we're glad for...
Ooh, Paul nailed it. Danish.
So, am I correct in saying that Danish people, they speak Danglish? That's the language, right?
Nailed it.
Thank you.
That one right. Adam's gonna give you credit for it.
Word.
The vote of confidence.
Don't they speak like I don't know? Does Denmark and Finland and Sweden and Norway all have their own languages? I guess they probably do, right? Finnish and Swedish and Danish and
Is Swedish a real language?
the one I forgot.
In my head, it's all the same. It's probably different though.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if
mean,
it's the kind of thing where you can kind of understand. This probably makes me sound stupid. I wonder if it's the kind of thing you can kind of understand a little bit of all of it, you know, because it's so
Well,
similar.
you know, I have a
Yeah,
friend, a Ukrainian lady, beautiful lady who works
you
in
okay
PR, and she has said that languages that are kind of built around Russian or have the same ancestor as Russian, that she can understand a little bit of them. So it might be a little bit like English people, how you can understand a tiny bit of Spanish if they talk slow enough. Not if they talk at their normal pace. I never understood why Spanish people are in such of a hurry, and I say that as a half Mexican person.
The thing is, no matter how hard I try, I've never been able to understand one word of the Swedish chef.
Do you think Swedish people get annoyed by him, or is he?
I think a guy. You know what? And I don't know any Swedish, but I think maybe that guy is just speaking gibberish.
Dude, don't talk down
I have
about their
a
language like that.
And he can communicate with Spanish people, with people who speak Spanish quite well. I mean, he's kind of learned Spanish from his knowledge of Portuguese.
Welcome, Skillatani. Uh-oh.
Charlie, get off the line. Striker team, take
What is
defensive
Swedish chef?
positions
The
around
Muppets
ground
character.
zero. Roger.
Oh, Tyler. You should at least see the newer Muppets movie, but I'm sure it works a lot better if you have any level of nostalgia for the Muppets.
Well, I like the
okay.
Muppets. I like Fozzie and Gonzo and Kermit and Miss Piggy. I don't know like the deeper characters. I know the old guys in the balcony, and I think his name's
One of them is
Pizza.
Waldorf.
Did you guys? Oh, obviously Tyler has it. Did you watch any of the new Muppet Show?
I watched one episode of it. It was funny.
I
liked
actually
it.
think it's
Wow.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's actually legitimately pretty funny. Pretty
Like I would
it's really
definitely watch it on a streaming service if it
Yeah,
comes
like
it's
it's
on
really smartly written.
Oh, that's a ladder. Was that the ladder they were talking about? No, it can't be, right? That's just a ladder. I don't think it's the ladder.
And you? No, yeah, it is, and it's not like it's just an adult sitcom comedy, you know, with Muppets.
But what would Jim Henson think
Yeah,
of
they
that?
do it. It's framed in the it's framed like it's like The Office, you know, like there's a somebody always filming them, you know, like for a documentary or something.
Wasn't it? I thought it was
area
kind of
we
like
refer to
a
as
Saturday Night Live show that they were putting on or something.
Well, it is, but the backstage stuff is
I wanted to see
like there's a documentary kind of thing. Like there's interviews and stuff where they pull them aside,
Right,
like in The
yeah.
Office.
The
Yeah,
confessional.
it's actually based on The Office as the framework of the show, as I understand it. But, yeah, I should watch it because I do love the Muppets. I was one of those people who's a little bit of a purist. And so when I read about how differently what a different direction it is tone-wise, then that made me less excited about it. But Deborah and my daughter like it. And it's aimed at an older crowd, but I guess it's still not too terrible for kids.
No, it's not.
Like as
It's
someone,
not-
yeah, no, it's not. It isn't. Yeah, it's
But they won't
as someone
get
though.
all but it won't be. You know, it's not offensive at all.
That's good.
Yeah, but as someone who has like nostalgia for that,
Yeah.
for the old show, I think I have no problem with it. I think they did an
Oh, well,
excellent
that's
job.
encouraging. I will have to try it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Hulu has the whole show or if it's just the latest 4 episodes like they do with some shows. I'll have to see.
I guess I can check. I have a Hulu.
Okay.
I watched all the South Park episodes.
They have the whole series on it? Sweet.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I went through all of South Park on Netflix back when Netflix still had it, and then they lost it. And I think I watched like maybe one-ish seasons on Hulu. But like I said, back then the commercials were really bad on South Park.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm on the ad-free version of Hulu.
You know, ads wouldn't be so bad if they wouldn't repeat the same ads over and over, but they do.
Yeah, I was telling that too, man. I was like, oh my, they wouldn't be, and there's still nothing compared to TV ads on a lot of shows, like the length of them, like if you're watching sports or whatever. But man, it's the same ads every time, and it's just so, you know, destroys your soul.
It really does.
But no, my problem with that was having buffering on the ads. No buffering on the videos, but buffering on the ads, like to the point where it wouldn't load. Get back into the show because the stupid ad wouldn't load. It was awful.
I watched a lot of South Park on back when there was Justin TV. Did you ever watch anything on Justin TV, like before it became Twitch?
Nope.
It was just people, like, they had their channels, and people were just like 24/7 streaming. Like one guy would just stream South Park 24/7.
Yep.
One guy would just stream this. One guy would just stream. It was in a way, it was really weird and cool, and it was also, you know, obviously not something that's gonna last.
Yeah, it's hard
But
to even imagine.
it was pretty cool. Yeah. So I would just sit there and just, you know, pass out in my chair watching South Park.
I like the show. I'm sure the Terrence and Phillip episodes are your favorites.
And they're very accurate.
Just like real life.
Oh man, Canada, even in the game, the whole. Have you played the Stick of Truth?
Oh, the Stick of Truth is awesome. Yeah. That part, like, I didn't know that was coming.
No, I
Like,
didn't either.
I'd not seen anything, and then when you get to Canada, that's amazing.
Don't spoil it too much because I haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
I won't say anything about it, but I'm just saying getting to Canada is awesome. Yeah.
No, it's, I mean, for as some people maybe say they're not putting quite as much effort into the show as they used to. I mean, the game is just non-stop laughs and hilarious settings and situations and everything. Like, they put everything into that game, and I hope the second one can live up to the first one.
I don't know if I have it in me to play a whole nother Saints Row, though. Like, I played a lot of Saints Row 3, you know?
So that's.
And I don't know if I have it in me to play another.
Thank you guys.
4 is so different than 3.
Climbing over the truck, that was the right way to go. Yeah, thank you everybody. I didn't get a lot of sleep because I had to wake up and finish watching Daredevil Season 2 before the stream. And yeah, it was
That's a good reason.
really tight. Oh, new bad guys.
He never tried to stop it.
That was sarcasm.
Well, I wanted to finish, dude. I like...
Did you go see Batman vs
No,
Superman?
I'm actually debating whether I'm going to see it at all.
Okay. Fan reviews have been much more friendly than critical reviews. But you probably tend to lean more towards the critical review side of things.
Dude, we had a guy... I was in a chat room. I won't say whether it was the company I work for or not, but there was a guy in the chat room who was like, all these critical reviews, why don't they understand you just gotta turn your brain off and enjoy it? And I'm like, you know, well-produced things, you don't have to do that. Like, there's good action movies, there's good superhero movies and stuff, where they're just plain good on every level, or most levels, not where, well, they have flashy lights and special effects, that's all it needs. That's such a low standard to have. It's kind of like somebody who would play any Resident Evil game, no matter how bad it is. Just as an example, you don't want to be like that.
That came out today too.
Okay. A, I wouldn't do that because I don't like the Outbreak games. And B, you can't trust fan reviews.
Yeah.
Because those people already are. They've chosen that movie because they
very
think
invested.
I mean, they're invested and they think they're gonna like it. Like, they're already going to it thinking, oh, I like superhero movies. I like Batman. I'm gonna go watch this. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But a critic is like, well, this is my job, and someone shoved this movie in front of me, and I have to review it as a movie. And that's coming from a place of neutrality. Mostly.
It's more neutral. Like every critic has bias. It's
more neutral. It's certainly not. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean,
on Metacritic, you can look at the critic review score number. I mean, there's no.
I looked
sense
at
in looking
Rotten
user scores.
Tomatoes. The critics was in the 20s, and the fans were in the 70s. So
Yep.
there's pretty obviously a skew there.
Yeah.
For people who
You could make that
want
argument
that
for
movie to be good.
both
well,
ways,
I mean, but people, Superman and Batman, they're pretty popular. You know, like, and superhero movies are pretty popular. Critics would like to enjoy that movie if they could. You know, it's not. Like, don't blame the critic because Zack Snyder's a bad director and he had a bad script and all this, you know? Like, it's not the critic's fault that it turned out that way. Like, we probably go into it wanting to enjoy it. There might be some critics where they always hate superhero movies or something, but not most.
But, like, also, Superman sucks. He's, like, the worst. Like,
well,
he's so...
You sound like Zack Snyder, you jerk.
No, he sucks. You can't make a good movie with him because you always have to have kryptonite. I bet you there's kryptonite in this movie because that's the only thing you can do.
But...
Otherwise, he's invincible. He shoots eyes, laser beams, he flies, he freezes things, he smashes stuff. You can't hurt him. There's nothing. He doesn't have to breathe. He can go in space. He can fly around the Earth and turn back time.
That's not his. That's not really one of Superman's powers. That was only
all
in
of
the
that's
movie.
it's. And then you're gonna go against Batman, who has a GD utility belt. That's stupid. You can't. That's ridiculous. So now it's gonna be some stupid reason why Superman isn't the super powerful guy he's supposed to be, and then they got to do that every single movie because otherwise there's no movie.
Adam, don't make me have to.
The good news is you could see how unbiased Adam is in this. Like you could definitely trust his unbiased opinion about.
Trust my unbiased
We're all
opinion.
looking forward to your Batman Superman review.
I will play the Genesis game because it's cool.
I heard that there's going to be Aliens Pinball coming from Zen Pinball.
Really?
There's no words to
wow, that's different.
Will was gone.
I think that leaked somewhere, like a little image of it.
Is it going to be like Alien Crush?
Secret life, he'd never
What's Alien Crush?
It was a classic pinball game on the TurboGrafx 16. Really.
I think it'll be like Sonic Spinball.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like that. You couldn't run around like you do in Sonic Spinball, but there were enemies and stuff, so you kill them with the ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was very like Geiger-esque art. Like it's obviously
that's what he led us to believe.
Influenced.
Yeah, definitely.
By that kind
there
of thing.
was Devil's Crush, and I think there was another game in the series too. I forget. Hardcore Gaming has a nice article on the series.
It's Crewball.
Crewball. Yeah, there was a Motley Crue pinball game. Isn't that weird? And it was made by Electronic Arts.
I've heard of them.
Motley Crue? Oh.
Electronic Arts.
Electronic Arts, who's that?
I have heard of Motley Crue, but I'm not.
I gotta tell you, I watched. I got into a YouTube, like one of those YouTube rabbit holes, and I guess Motley Crue, up until last year, was like still, like playing. You know, they were still doing concerts and stuff. And you know, some bands have like gracefully aged. You know, like Bon Jovi cut his hair, Metallica guy cut his hair. You know, they just kind of dress like normal people now. Motley Crue was hanging on to that 80s leather and makeup thing with their saggy gray skin and their like weird, you know, obviously drug-addled faces. Like it was awful. It was the saddest thing I'd seen in so long. It's terrible.
So Lil Fryer points out that Windows Central actually did an article about Aliens vs. Pinball.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you know, I slept today.
I knew
so.
something went horribly wrong.
Way to be up on things, Paul.
And then of course I made the mistake of mentioning Sonic with Mace around. For some reason he forgives that game for being terrible and actually enjoys it.
Which game?
Any Sonic game.
Oh. Take that back. Only the 3D ones. And you know, Generation gets pretty wonky. Like it still has all the problems of the 3D ones, but up until you get to the bad boss fights and stuff, it's pretty good.
I heard Colors was well received.
So how many people really played it? Because it was on the Wii. So the people who played it were supposed to like it.
Well, maybe, but
okay.
I don't know. People seem to like it. That's what I'm saying. Like most people don't like Sonic games, and people seem to like that game.
I just wish I could tell... Oh, there is an achievement. A Link to the Future. You've located 1 quantum ripple and 1 intel item. How nice. So we're...
Hey, Soy Sauce won the game.
here's one of those graffitis I think
the
that
soy
shows
sauce.
something that shouldn't really be in graffiti. Sonic Generations is good for fan service. That is true. That is the best thing about Sonic Generations. But I will say it still has the really poorly thought out boss battles that make me angry to play them. I just can't... It's like they create a boss battle and they don't have time to actually fine-tune it. So when you, the player, are there, it's like one little mistake and you die and all this just stuff that makes it frustrating instead of fun. That's the 3D Sonic games in a nutshell.
I mean, I played a lot of Sonic Adventure when it came out, but also I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, I mean, we didn't know any better back then. You did have Mario 64.
Remember that mistake you made in 1997? That's the one.
That's the one. No, that was
Sonic
2000.
Adventure is 99.
Oh, dang.
There he
Yeah,
is.
oh,
99.
crap, that guy's.
Oh, that's right.
9999.
Yeah.
Crap. And I died.
That's the only system I ever bought first day. I was in line. I had a T-shirt and I gave it to my girlfriend at the time, and that
Aw.
pisses me off.
Did she at least wear it?
I want that
Did you
T-shirt
ever wear
back.
it? I got this nice white Chun-Li shirt, and my girlfriend's friend at the time, she had a friend who really liked Chun-Li and liked fighting games. So, pretty cool friend in some ways. But this female friend of hers, I gave her the
Wait.
shirt.
Your girlfriend's friend had a friend,
Yeah,
or your
I'm sorry,
girlfriend's
the girlfriend's
friend?
name was Sarah, and her friend was, she went by the nickname Silver. And Silver
Okay.
liked fighting games and liked Chun-Li, and so I had this Chun-Li shirt. I'm like, hey, I'll give it to her. It's perfect for her. But she wouldn't wear it because she was really dedicated to being goth,
There was something wrong with
and it wasn't black.
Chronon syndrome.
And that was
He'd had his powers
frustrating
much
for me.
longer
Like,
than me. What was
you
the
know,
cause?
you like goth,
Sick as well.
whatever.
Why did she
but
take it?
was
She
time
shouldn't have even
travel.
taken
Hold on. Why did she take it?
I didn't
She,
know.
She did
didn't take it?
but she wouldn't wear it.
It didn't make anything he'd done any less.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Why did
should've-
she take it? She took it, knowing
Yeah,
she wasn't
when
going
she
to wear
brought
it.
that up, I should have just said, oh, never mind. But, yeah, I gave it to her. I shouldn't have.
Wait a minute. Hold on. She said, you said, here's the shirt. She said, oh, I'll never wear this. And you said, oh,
I don't
take it
remember
anyway.
if she told me exactly when I gave it to her or if she told me later. You know, it seems like she took it and kept it. That's my memory of it. It's been a long time. But I just wanted to point out that it's really lame to be so dedicated to a lack of color.
All right.
It's not
We
black.
need to get together and then get our shirts back.
It's a good idea. Shirt reclamation project.
I know where mine lives. I can find her.
Until just a few years ago, I had a Sega Saturn shirt that I still wore, but it wore out from too many washings.
My Xbox guy has a Sega Saturn shirt.
The shirts that got away, you guys, my heart goes out to
Thank
both of you.
No, she didn't have amazing thighs or anything. She was pretty though.
Yeah.
Redhead.
I don't know. Called herself Silver.
Yeah, I can't even remember what.
Yeah, that would have been like the first.
I've already prejudged her. You know.
I'm not into
Oh, yeah.
nicknames.
Just want you to know that.
I'm absolutely not. I think just here in America,
Yeah,
I think
that's good.
it's more
Stacks.
common for black people to be into nicknames than white people. Like I was dating a
Did
black
she-
girl, and all of her relatives and stuff, or a lot of her social circle went by nicknames, and she would tell me the names, and I'm just like, are you serious? People call each other that stuff?
What's this all for?
But did she give herself that name?
You would think so, but I don't remember the background behind it.
I would guess so.
I bet you she did.
Oh yeah.
She's all just like, call me Silver.
It's not the worst name.
I don't like my name. My name depresses me.
It's better
Call
than
me
being named
Silver.
Magenta. Oh, Maze. What about calling yourself Maisie, huh? Even though you're a guy. That's not so great. Is that the girl I'm trying to rescue? There's the villain, Paul Serene.
What's all the numbers in Maze for? What do they all stand for?
I don't think...
It's just 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7. I don't think they stand for anything. I
Is
think
it like a
it's
zip
I think
code?
he used to, it looks like he was making a password or something, you know? When you're making a password.
yeah, it's just the bottom row of the keypad and then the top row of the keypad.
Right.
How many numbers do zip codes have in Canada? Don't they have letters?
There's in Canada we have postal codes and they're letters and numbers and there's six digits.
Yeah, 3 space 3, right?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, that's usually
Don't
how
you have
they
this
work
weird
now.
place called Ontario?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
bizarre to me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to have to call it quits here. Unfortunately, this is just all we have time for, even though I think we're not quite finished with the act. We have to be right near the end of it. But this is,
You think? One
yeah,
would
Quantum
think.
Break. Quit to menu.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap, great show. Had a very bad ending. If you were into it, the last episode was very unsatisfying.
I've never seen it, but I really like the premise, but I'm not sure if it would hold up enough to really be able to
Well,
enjoy
I'll tell
it
you
nowadays.
the thing that is bad about it compared to modern shows is they refuse to serialize the storyline. There were like little tiny tidbits, but they were so spread out. You know, by the time you learn something new that affects the overall plot, it might be a year. You know, one time in the season you get a little bit of payoff. So if they had serialized it a little more, it would still hold up today, I think. But it's very episode of the week, you know, case of the week. This happens this week.
Right, exactly. And I think that's probably, I don't really get into a ton of those shows
But the
anymore
actors,
that aren't comedies.
it was fun. And what's the name of the
Yeah,
main actor?
I like the
usually know
premise.
it. Archer from Scott
Scott
Bakula. He's
Bakula.
great. He's awesome.
He's got a great last name. I don't know if it's a real last name or if it's something he made up for Hollywood, but
He was in a good football movie, Unnecessary Roughness. Did you ever see that, Tyler?
yeah, I have seen that. And they had a girl kicker, I think.
He was in. That guy was a Star
Yeah,
Trek
he
person.
was Captain
Yeah, he was
Archer
in
in
Star
Star
Trek
Trek
as well.
Enterprise. Yeah, but Unnecessary Roughness, I actually
See,
saw
Adam
that in the theater. That's kind of unusual for me, but I think I've seen Adam Sandler's football movie in the theater too, whatever that was. Yeah,
Longest
those
Yard.
are the only ones. But anyway, we better go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Sorry we can't show you what happens at the end, but hey, Quantum Break comes out next week, and you can buy it, play it yourselves, and rush all. There's 5 total acts, each one with several parts. Lots of collectibles, difficulty, a nice upgrade system.
Good night, Adam.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Later, all. Whatever you do, don't hate. Appreciate.
See ya. And that ought to hold the little SOBs.